Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So this is the part 2 of our client side of MERN card Redux project. We're going to implementing the RTK query mutation and add some data into our database using our React application using the RTK query. Okay, we're going to use the latest and greatest RTK query mutation to add some data into a database. Then that is the thing called mutation. Then we're going to work with our single product. We're going to fetch single product by its ID and we're going to pass some parameters into the RTK query endpoints. And also we're going to work with the use params hook, okay, in this application. And also later we're going to set up our navbar and footer to look to make sure our application looks better. So this is our main agenda, 3 main tasks. Okay, now we have to work with our API. If we go to the products API.js, as you can see, the previous part we worked with the fetch all products and show all the information in our application. Now we need to add product. Okay, if I go to /add product page, let me check, we have something. Okay, so our this is setup is down, our route setup is done. Now in the add product page, we have to use something. So which thing we're gonna use? We need to call our add product hook. This is the thing, add product mutation. As you can see, we have already exported it from these places, and in this place we just pass our main data that is coming from our UI, React UI, and we're gonna pass this thing into our this URL using the post method. We don't need to use any other thing. In the add product, this is the mutation type, and in the query we need to pass every data, 3 information. First one is method, which is post because it's adding, and the URL, which URL you need to pass this information to, and the body is the actual data that we want to pass. Now how we can use this thing? So this is our main agenda. So if you go to the add product, here we need to just go, and here in the mutation we will write, for the fetching we will write data is equals to products or whichever, but for mutation you need to write add product. This is the same name, this is the same actual name that we have in the products API. Okay, this is the name that you have to use in this UI. Okay, add product, and this should be coming from your use add product mutation and call it, otherwise it will not work, you will have your error. And you just call use add product mutation, and here you just need to call this thing. Okay, so this is very simple stuff, but you cannot call it at this moment. You cannot call this thing. Okay, I'm just importing it. You need to do some other stuff. For that I'm going to the pages, add product pages, and here I need to just in the div I need to pass everything, because those UI are useless to show you guys. I think you guys know a little bit about it. Okay, I have used the tailwind CSS definitely for light and dark mode as well. I'm going to implement the light and dark mode in the last part of this tutorial series. The main thing is actually the card system, that's why I'm implementing it. And here today our focus is to add mutation, how we can use RTK query mutation to add some data into our database using the React application. So here on form we have some information to set image, title, price, category, description. Okay, it is completely up to you whichever thing you want to set. And I haven't set the description because this is not a required field. So title, price, these are the very important thing, and for that we need to copy something, and this is the information we need to copy. And here you can use this thing, and this is the endpoint to add mutation to mutation part. Okay, it should be mutation. Okay, this is the endpoint, and these are the state values that user gets. Okay, so you need to put some image, link, title, price, category, all of those things, and make sure you import use state. Okay, so this should work. And for price it should be initialized, should be 0, and you can give it 1 or whatever you like, you can do this. And for category also, this is empty string. And this is the thing, if you just go and in on change, you get the data target.value and set it on set image, and it would be set into this image. And similarly for title, price, category, description as well, and these are all required field. As you can see, for price it is number, for title it is text, and for image also it is text field, and this is a simple button to add it. Okay, so these are all the styles that we have. So I didn't add any error handler. You can also do that. You can also handle error using the is error, is loading. You can have all the states there. If there is any error, you can show it into a UI. Okay, you can make it more customizable, much better. So this is a tutorial purpose. I'm just making a simple project for you guys so that you can understand every single concept. So we need to in on form we need to function called on submit. On submit handler, what you can do here, on submit we're gonna add the user given data to database. Simple. So we need to make it and make sure it's an arrow function, e.prevent default, e.prevent, I think this is the name, and we need to have an event and e.prevent default. Okay, so that we don't have a refresh when you click on this button. And here, as you can see, it is suggesting you add all the product, and here you will just call everything. Here you will just call the add product mutation. Okay, you would just initiate it and you would just getting it from the add product mutation by this line. But this is the function. You need to call this function when user clicks on this page, add product. Then this submit handler will trigger this functionality, and when user clicks on submit, okay, then this functionality would be triggered. And you're gonna call add product, and the add product you're gonna pass every single information, okay, as an object. And here you can pass those information, so image, price, title, description. So image, title, price, category, description, all these stuffs. And this should be went into, and this should work. If we go to the products API, this is our data. Okay, you can see this is our main data. In the parameters we need it. For fetching we don't need any parameter, but for adding we definitely need something. And here, so if it is a success, then you're gonna clear the form. And for clear the form, you just set image null, set price null, all of this thing null. And then you're gonna navigate to the home page. So how can we navigate it? For navigate, you just need to hook. For use navigation, you need to have a hook. So const navigate, it should be navigate is equals to use navigation. So this is coming, this use navigate is coming from our React Router DOM package. Okay, so here after it is done, we need to navigate to root page, and the root page is this page. Okay, so let me check. So this is, if I just refresh it, as you can see in the add product route we are now. So if you put all those data, and as you can see, when you click on this add product, it should add all the product into a database now. And if I just check our components, and in the add product component, if I change something like smartphone category, as you can see it is smartphone category. If I give a price $800, $890 suppose, then it is 890. Title is OnePlus 10 Pro or 11 Pro, whichever you need. You can write it. You can also add any link, image link of images. This will be there. Okay, so all of the states, as you can see, you can check it, and these are also very important. If you don't install those things, you don't understand anything. You need to install this Redux development toolkit, Redux Chrome extension, this is very important, Redux dev tool extension. So this is the thing you must install. Okay, so this is the thing you have to install if you want to show all the thing like me. Okay, that's why you will see everything. As you can see, you will see everything what's going on, and also you can check the states also. So this is how you debug your application. So understanding a project by its core and how it is working and how you can debug it is very important. Otherwise you cannot see if I'm getting this information or not. I'm just copying a single image of OnePlus 11 Pro images, and you can use this thing because this is a free. Copy image address, and you can paste it in an application. Give it OnePlus 11 Pro and price it $599 suppose, and this is a smartphone category definitely. add your product. Okay, it's added, but it is not added immediately. You need to refresh it. So that's the thing that we're gonna implement. Okay, that's the thing we have to implement. If I just write it again, if I go to add product and just give it simple any name or anything, this computer, paste it, we don't see anything. But why? If I refresh it, you'll see this data. So this is the thing we're gonna fix in this video as well. Okay, so that's why the logic here. If we just go to there, as you can see, the documentation use mutation. We have a lot of information, invalidate tags, invalidate all those things. So we need to work with this. Okay, so this is the data that we have. We have error checking, loading, success, reset, all these stuffs, all the beautiful stuff that we have here. Okay, you can check error, logging, fail, error loading, all of these stuffs. But what is the main thing here? Why we have to reload? In React application, you shouldn't reload on that. So what we can do? We can go to our features, where all of our features there in the products API. Here we need to add something. After we add some data into our product endpoint, we need to refetch all this get all products. So for that, we need to write something. And here, after the query is done, we need to write invalidate tags. We need to invalidate the cache. And this is a product model, so that's why I'm writing it product. If it is for blog, you will write blog. If it is for comment section, you can write it comment. Okay, but this page or this part is actually for the products API endpoint, not any other thing. Okay, so we have to invalidate the text. When we add some product, it means that we have to clear the cache and fetch all the get products again. And for that, you have to add provides tag here. Provides tag, it means what? You have to provide this tag again. Copy this and paste it. When it means that when you add some data into the product page or add into the database, it should invalidate the tags of the product, because RTK query works with the caching system. It caches your data. You need to invalidate or remove this information from the cache and refetch and fetch all of the stuffs again and get all products. So that's why you don't need to reload the page to get the latest data. So that's why when you were in the query, builder.query, you need to pass provides tag so that it can understand. And for mutation places, we need to invalidate the cache, because mutation invalidates, we need to invalidate that. Otherwise, they won't understand this. There is some change there. Okay. So in a mutation, I'm writing here, in mutation, you're gonna write invalidate the cache. You must invalidate the cache. And in fetching product, you need to provide the cache. Provides the cache update. Okay, so that you can understand that there is something else. Okay, so these are the two things is very, very, very important. If you go through every single thing in RTK query setup for the mutation, it says that. Okay, so that is very, very important part. So now if you add something, any data, like if I go to add product, if you just write anything, any title, suppose 799, 788 is categories smartphone again, add it. As you can see, now we don't need to reload. It directly redirects us to this root page. Simply, this is the thing that we have wanted in add product page. After everything is done, go to this page. Okay, root page. So now it is done perfect without any issues. Now what you can do, you can remove this from your database. Okay, but I didn't add any functionality yet to remove anything from the database, but keep it, remind that. Okay, so it should be there. For detail page, you just need to go to new file, and this is product detail page, product detail page.jsx. So in the product detail page.jsx, okay, so this is a product detail page, but for product detail page we need to use a dynamic routing system. and I'm just copying this, and this should be ID. We need to pass an ID. This is the dynamic ID, and we need to call it product detail page. When you go to particular ID, it should call it. Okay, so how can we understand it? This is the thing that we need to understand. So if we go to the MongoDB Compass and go and connect to our application, and we see our database products, and this is the ID that we need. Okay, at this moment this is the ID we need, and we have to pass it. Okay, so how can we pass it? As you can see, this is the ID. So if I go to product detail page and slash that ID, we should go to the detail page. So we have to make it dynamic. Okay, so in the product detail page, I need to hold that ID. So we need to hold that ID, and it should come from use params, and this use params is also coming from React Router DOM. Okay, and we need to just render this ID. Let's check it. As you can see, we are rendering this. We are rendering this ID. So now it works fine. But this is just to show you guys. I need to just get the code from here for the product detail page. Okay, we have a lot of things in product detail page. So in the section, I'm gonna copy everything, and I'm gonna pass this thing. So I'm gonna use here a fragment, and this is more efficient one, and save it. And we have some error because we need to import font awesome icon a lot. So let's do this. We need to have some font awesome icon, and also we need to use font awesome as well. So we just have to import font awesome from React Font Awesome that we have installed in the previous section of this series, and this is for solid SVG icon. So refresh, and this is done. We need to remove this functionality, add to cart, and from the detail page you can also add to cart and add to wish list as well. Okay, so all the functionality is there. This is nice, and we need to provide some data: product.image, title, price, description, all the stuffs. As you can see, quantity, set quantity is not defined. Also we need to have that quantity, set quantity. Okay, quantity, set quantity, so that we can change the quantity, and our product is not defined. So we have to have a product information here. So how can we get the product information? We have to work with the products API for that, and this is for the add. Then we need to use this again, single product. Okay, and change our name. I think this would be faster. Get product by ID. Okay, get product by its ID, and we enter query, and in the query you need to pass a parameter, get products by its ID. And how can we do that? And also you need to provide the tags also. Okay, and for that you need to go to backend again and go to our route section. In the route section, this is our API /product/ID, and this will give you all the product by its ID. Products API, and this is our endpoint /product/ID, and we need to pass a dynamic ID into this route so that we can get the information and get products by ID. Okay, and use get products by ID. Okay, so this is also a query because we are getting the data by ID and with the use params. So, and if we need to go to product detail page, and here we are holding this ID from the URL. Okay, this is the URL, this is the dynamic ID that we're receiving of that product information, and using this ID we're gonna call everything. So const data is equals to product. This is a single product. Use fetch use get products by ID query, and if there is no data, just empty object, and here we need to pass that ID. and this will put the ID into this products API. Okay, we are passing this ID and it will fetch the data. Okay, so we are passing any params here. If you need some data using the name, you can pass name, ID, or whatever. And here we are passing, or is error, is loading, you can pass all of those things. So in the section we need to have a condition. If the product is not empty, if there is some product, then we render this. If there is no product, okay, then we cannot render it. It will only render if we have some product. And we'll just get the product image, title, price, all of the thing. So let me check what's the error. Is loading. Okay, one error, use state is not defined. Okay, so we have used this to set the quantity. I have used use state. Okay, we need to import that, and then I think it should. Okay, so this is our detail page, and this is why the quantity is important. If you set the quantity to suppose 10 or 10, so let me check. As you can see, it's 10. So we can change the quantity. We can change the quantity and add this number of information or quantity of product to the cart. And we can also add, so the cart system is different. For the detail page, we can quantify how many numbers we need, 8, 10, 100, and add that to cart. And in the normal pages, we just add only one product. Okay, so they are different. So they are very, very different. And also here we have to pass an ID so that we can get it. So we are getting it by use params, because we are passing this ID from our this page, route page. We are passing dynamic ID. This is the thing we are holding here. Okay, and by this ID we are fetching this information, and make sure it is 1 by default, so that we can set the quantity by 0 and add to favorite, add to cart based on it. And if you go to inspect and go to Redux part, as you can see, API, we have a queries, get products by ID query. As you can see, we have passed the ID parameter and it is fulfilled. It is get the database ID, and this is the data that we are getting. So everything is very useful and very organized and awesome. And for mutation as well, this is a mutation. If we just add dot, and here it will also call a mutation. If we just go to Redux, add any information, if I just add any information, this is a mutation happen. As you can see, mutation happened instantly. And as you can see, this is the data that we have passed from our React application. Okay, it is fulfilled and provided is actually the product. Okay, so this is the type of mutation. As you can see, this is a mutation. So that's why we have data in the mutation, but in the query you don't have this, and it is fulfilled. Okay, so we have a lot of data, and it's also responsive as well. And let me check if it is okay, two grid, 2 column grid, 1 column grid, 2 column grid, 3 column grid. Nice, they're very responsive in the detail. And we just need to link it from our home page. So if I go to our home page and home page product card, and here we have to just uncomment this part, link / product, and because we have the ID here in the product, we get the ID also, parameter also from this product object that we pass inside the product card. So we have this ID. So based on that ID we can go. So you need to go to /product /ID, and in this case we should have /product /ID. If I go to app.js, it should go to /product /ID. I think this should be much better looking URL. And if I go there, and it should go there. Okay, and from home page we should go to our product card, and this should go to this URL. Okay, so now I think it should work fine. We just need to save everything. So link is not defined, so we have to import link. In the home page we have to import the link. So what we can do, we need to import link. Okay, import link from React router DOM. As you can see, if I go to this /product /ID, if I go to app.js, I need to save that. As you can see, now it works. If I go to detail, let's go to this detail. If I go to that, I'm going to this detail. If I go to that, is detail. So detail part is done. Add product from the API from the RTK query is also done using the RTK query. So add product using the RTK query mutation and get the product by its ID using the RTK query also done using the passing the ID params. So those are the complicated stuff that you see here. These are the simple thing in every project we need. Okay, so this part is done perfectly. Now we just need to cut and copy the navbar and footer. So here you have to pass the navigation and footer so that it looks better. Footer first. Let me add the footer section. Okay, footer, we just import everything here. Okay, and in the components I have a footer.jsx, pass everything, and this is my channel name and link is given. We need to edit app.js. Inside here, footer, we just add a footer. Okay, as you can see, footer is imported. Let me check. Okay, now our footer is added. Now it's time for our navbar. So we need to create one more component called navbar.jsx, and here we need to pass our navbar, and we will have a lot of functionality in the navbar. So I will describe everything later, but let me copy everything at beginning. So this is the part we implement our theme. Okay, and theme switching theme. So this is our navbar. So at this moment we just import the link. So this part is very important, and link to home page. Then we have home page, add product page, cards page, wishlist page, all of the stuffs. But at this moment we don't have a cart length, how many items we have in the cart or wish list. We're gonna add it later. And also we don't need to have we need to have a button. We don't need that button for theme switching. And these are the features we don't need at this moment. Also we don't need that. Also we don't need that use effect. We don't need any of this thing. We also don't need use selector. Okay, so those are the stuffs we don't need at this moment. Let me check, and we have to add it inside this routes, in this router, not inside the routes, because routes should be inside the pages. These are components, so it should be onto the upper hand or upper side. So this should be navbar. Okay, so let me check it. Okay, beautiful. We have all the thing that we have. This is for add, this is for card page, this is for wishlist page, and this is for home page, add product page, all the thing. And also we can go to a detail page as well. So all the thing is set up, done. I think you guys really enjoyed this video a lot, because I have worked with a lot of amazing concept here. Work with use params, RTK query, pass params to RTK query, and use mutation, add data, and put all of this information from your client to RTK query mutation, and this sends the data to the database amazingly with only one just function on one line of 2 lines of code, and get single product information in the detail page, and we set up our navbar and footer in this video. So till then, take care, bye bye. In the next part, where you understand a lot of more amazing concept.